Hey fourth grade, welcome back. I am ready to help you with day 2 in your packet for week 3, fourth grade. So yesterday we wrote down the definitions for our vocabulary words together in the video, and you should have had a chance on your own to write example sentences and pictures. You should have also had a chance to go to the first page of our story on 32 and answer the questions in number 1 to write about what you see in the photographs. And you should have also had a chance to go watch the video about Srephanie, Kwolek, and our playlist. So now you might have a little bit of background information about her before we learn more today. For day 2, it says first to review the vocabulary words in your book on page 30. So there were a couple of the words we learned yesterday with the examples, and you had to complete the sentences on your own. Today we will quickly review the vocabulary words that we learned. I'll put them up here because we might see or hear some of them in our story that we read together today. So let's review those together first. Remember, urging means telling someone that they should do something. Reinforce means to make something stronger. Fireproof means that it is not easily burned by fire. Stiff means it is hard to bend. You cannot bend it. It is stiff. Qualities are things about a person or object. And develop. Develop means to grow or cause to grow. So these words might help us to understand our story today. Our story is a biography. And so if you look at the first page on your story, you'll see that at the top. A biography is a book that's written about a real person by another person. So for example, Martin Luther King Jr. was a real person, and people have written books about him. That means they are biographies. So Miss Barrow is a real person. If I write a book about Miss Barrow, that would be a biography because I'm writing about a real person's life. Okay? So our story is about an inventor named Srephanie Kwolek, who you saw on the video yesterday, I hope. And somebody wrote a story about her life and put it in our book. So it's great because biographies are nonfiction and they help us to learn about real people in our history. Okay? So we're going to listen for these words to help us understand the story about Srephanie Kwolek, and we're going to read about how inventions can solve problems. We're going to see how Srephanie Kwolek invented something that's really super strong that helps to save lives and protect people. So her invention is very important. Let's read and find out what she did. It says, what kind of material would you make for a superhero? So think about one of the Avengers or Spider-Man. What kind of clothes do you think they should wear? Do you think they should be fireproof so they don't catch on fire? Let's see. It has to be light, strong, and fireproof. Chemist Srephanie Kwolek invented a material just like that. It's called Kevlar. Superheroes don't wear it, but everyday heroes like police officers and firefighters do. So remember, she's a real person and she really did make something very important. So it's not for make-believe characters, it's for real people who have real jobs. This part says becoming a chemist. When Srephanie was young, she was interested in math and science. She worked hard in school. She studied chemistry in college. Srephanie wanted to go to medical school, but could not afford it. Afford means you have enough money to pay for something. So she really wanted to go to college and learn how to be a doctor. If you go to medical school, it means you're learning about medicine and you're learning about the body and how to help people. But medical school costs a lot of money, and she didn't have enough to go. Instead, Srephanie worked at a textile lab to save money for medical school. So she got a job so she could make money, and she was trying to save her money so one day she could pay to go to medical school in the future. But at the lab, she discovered her love for chemistry. She learned how to make long chains of molecules called polymers. They can be spun into fabrics and plastics. Srephanie enjoyed doing experiments so much that she decided not to go to medical school. So if you are a chemist, that means you're always mixing chemicals and you're doing experiments and trying to invent new things, and you're seeing how the chemicals react and if they have a purpose we could use them for. And she loved being in a lab and being able to do these experiments so much, she decided, maybe I don't want to go to medical school after all. I really like the job I have now. So that worked out well for her. A strange liquid. Now, liquid is something that you can pour and it changes shape. For example, if I have a cup in one hand and a bowl in the other, I can pour milk into the cup and I can pour the milk into the bowl. Liquids sometimes are things you can drink, like water or milk or juice. It could also be things that you don't want to drink, like if your mom has cleaners in your house, you can pour those too, but you can't drink them. So this part is about a strange liquid. So it does mean something that can change its shape if you pour it into a different container. So let's see what that is. In 1964 at the lab, Srephanie was asked to make a strong, hard fiber. That blue word fiber means a long thread of material. So we use thread to stitch our clothes together. So like this might be a long thread. Okay, so she was trying to make something like that at her lab. At the time, the country was worried there may be a gas shortage. Scientists wanted to make a fiber to strengthen tires, so cars and planes would use less gasoline. One day, Srephanie made an unusual polymer mixture. Polymer mixtures are usually thick, but this one was cloudy and watery. So her job that day was to try to find a way to make some really thick threads and fibers to make tires on your car stronger, because then you wouldn't need to use as much gas. But what she ended up making was very watery and it wasn't very thick. Think about something thick, might be like slime that you all like, that's pretty thick. It would be like had a lot of water in it. Like it didn't hold its shape. It wasn't squishy. It was more like water. Srephanie brought her mixture to the worker in charge of spinning liquids into fibers. He laughed at her because he didn't think it could be made into a fiber. But Srephanie kept asking him to spin the mixture, and finally he agreed. When he spun the mixture, a strong fiber began to form. Srephanie was filled with excitement. So this person she worked with laughed at her because they didn't think it would work. But she is going to prove them wrong. So good for her. Okay. We're going to come back to this part. Let's go ahead to the next page that says stronger than steel. Srephanie tested the fiber and found that it was fireproof. So that means this fiber does not catch on fire very easily. It was stronger and lighter than steel. That means it is very, very strong. Wow, she believed a fiber with these qualities could be turned into a useful material. She was right. The material became known as Kevlar. So there's one of our vocabulary words, qualities. Where qualities mean certain things about something. So she believed that the qualities, lightweight, strong, fireproof, she thought, wow, those are some important qualities. Those are good things about this fiber. Surely we can make it into something useful that people need. She's right. They called that fiber Kevlar. It took 10 years to develop Kevlar, but today it is used by many people. The president, firefighters, and police officers wear protective clothing made from it. Kevlar is also used in tires, bicycles, spacecrafts, and skis. Stephanie discovered how to make protective clothing and equipment both light and strong. Wow, so Kevlar is very useful. It's used to make so many things now. There is one of our vocabulary words, develop, which means grow. So it means it took a long time for her to change these fibers and grow and develop them into something that people can use every day in their clothes and their tires. Stephanie's invention has saved many lives. She was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame for her work. Stephanie never expected to be an inventor, but she was delighted that her work helped so many people. So because of her, firefighters have their gear made out of Kevlar. It's lightweight, it protects them, it's fireproof. Police officers can use it as well because they go to dangerous situations. It's very strong, so if something tries to hurt you, a lot of times it can't get through because the material, the Kevlar, is so strong. So she's helped save a lot of lives with this invention. Let's go back to this page. That's what I love about biographies because they're nonfiction and they teach you about people. First let me show you this. You see this photograph? It's of a real dog. It says Kevlar is used in vests for police and police dogs. So now that we know what Kevlar is, I wanted you to see this picture. They used Kevlar to make this vest for the dog. So it's fireproof, so it protects the dog, and also since it works for police officers, sometimes if people do have a gun, this will protect the bullet from hitting the dog. Isn't that amazing? That's why it saved so many lives. On this page it says firefighters wear suits made from Kevlar. So it's strong enough also, not just strong, but also fireproof. Now let's take a look at this page. It says a timeline of achievements. That means over time, she accomplished a lot of good things. In 1923, she was born in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. In 1946, she earned a degree in chemistry from Carnegie Mellon University. In 1964, she discovered the fibers for Kevlar. That's the part we read about here, the strange liquid. And in 1971, Kevlar was first marketed. That means they had developed it enough and were able to use it to make some of these important things. And in 1995, she was inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame. Because her invention was so important and had saved so many lives, they wanted to give her a special award. In this picture, it says Kevlar is used in cars, such as this solar racing car. So we probably see Kevlar every day in our lives and don't even know all the places that it is. It's just amazing. So thank goodness that we do have inventors like Srephanie Kwolek to make Kevlar, because important people like her is why we need biographies, because we need to be able to learn about these people and the important discoveries and inventions that they've made that have helped us. And it inspires us to be able to also do amazing things. So while we're finished with this story, I'd like for you to think about what are some problems did Stephanie's invention solve? Like, what are some good things that have happened now, some solutions because of her invention? There weren't always fireproof suits for the firefighters. So what are some other problems you think that we used to have that we don't have anymore because she fixed it with her Kevlar? And then, just for fun, think about something that you would make out of Kevlar. What do you think you would use it for if you had a choice? That's pretty fun. All right, I love this story. I love reading nonfiction because I love to learn new things, especially biographies, because those real people who do important things are so amazing for us to learn about. All right, as we are finished with our story today, I want to remind you that tomorrow is your day to read the story yourself. The questions are here, so go back in the story, find the answers, and underline where they're at using text evidence on day 4. Now that you have heard the story and you will read it again, you can go back and write what is the main idea of this story, which means what was this story mostly about, and write 3 details. What are 3 important things that support the main idea? And of course, on day 5, you get to choose another field trip. You've already been on 4, or I'm sorry, you've already been on 2. This is going to be number 3. So pick a different place this week. And after you've explored the videos and the pictures and you've read a lot of information, you will be able to write on the last page, Virtual Field Trip 3, tell me where did you go, what did you see, what did you learn, and draw a picture on the back. When you have finished everything in this packet, make sure your parents signed every day. So there should be 5 places with their name. This tells me that they saw you finish your work at home. Take a picture of this page and send it to me. Also, take a picture of your vocabulary chart that has your definitions, your example sentences, and your quick pictures. Take a picture of your main idea and details page, and take a picture of what you wrote about your virtual field trip number 3 and your picture. This shows me that not only are you working hard at home, it helps me to see if there's anything I need to do to help you with your learning and to see if you're having any trouble completing your work. I know that you guys are working so hard at home, and I'm very proud of you. I know it's hard to do not at school if I'm not there to help you, so that's why your parents' pictures help me, because they help me to see what you're learning and if there's anything else I can do to help you. So if you have any questions or need help while you're finishing your activities this week, please tell your parents to email me or dojo message me, and I will help you as soon as I can and answer any questions, okay? All right, guys, well, it is a pretty day outside. I hope you're getting a chance to play outside sometimes too. Be careful and stay healthy. I think I'm going to go take my dogs for a walk while it's not raining. And I hope that I get to see you guys again very soon. Okay? Bye-bye.